My ex claims that I reached out to her, but I never did. It started with a phone call. I almost didn't answer. Blocked number, 10:43 p.m. Normally, I'd ignore that kind of thing. Nothing good ever comes from hidden numbers at night, but something in me hesitated. The ringtone echoed longer than usual, bouncing around my small apartment until I finally swiped to accept. Hello. For a few seconds, all I heard was silence, not the kind that comes from a bad connection, but the kind that feels intentional. Then a woman's voice, quiet but trembling, said my name. Eli. My chest went cold. I hadn't heard that voice in years. Maya. She let out a shaky breath, like she wasn't sure I'd actually answer. You did reach out, she said. You don't have to pretend it wasn't you. My heart stuttered. What are you talking about? She gave a small, humorless laugh. Don't play dumb. You texted me last week. From that number. The one that said I still miss you. I froze, because I hadn't sent that message. I didn't even have her number saved anymore. For a moment, all I could hear was the sound of her breathing on the other end. Then I said, slowly, Maya, I didn't message you. Silence. She scoffed. Come on. It's your number. The same one you used to text me back then. I changed my number after we broke up, I said. A month after. You know that? No, she said sharply. No, you didn't. Because I saw the message. It was from you. It even had that stupid typo you always make. Definitely with an A. That detail made my stomach twist. She wasn't lying. I do spell it that way sometimes. My eye said, carefully, can you send me a screenshot? I deleted it, she muttered. I didn't want to see it again, but I know it was you. Then her tone cracked. Why are you doing this to me? That night, I didn't sleep. I kept scrolling through my messages, my old backups, even checking if maybe I'd been hacked. Nothing. No texts, no drafts, no weird outgoing activity. And yet, the thought wouldn't leave me. What if someone was pretending to be me? Or worse, what if she believed it so strongly that she was imagining things? We hadn't ended well. She'd accused me of emotionally ghosting her while I'd been drowning in work and family issues. The breakup got messy. She blocked me everywhere. Told mutual friends I'd ruined her trust completely. We hadn't spoken since, until that night. 2 days later, I got another message, this time from one of our old friends, Leah. Hey, weird question. Are you and Maya talking again? I froze, greater than no. Why? Leah replied almost instantly. She posted a story saying when they come back pretending they've changed, and she tagged you. I clicked the tag. My stomach dropped. It was my username, my old Instagram account, the one I hadn't used in over a year, except it had a new profile picture, one I didn't recognize, and the bio read, greater than trying to fix what I broke. One message at a time. I reported it immediately, of course. Fake account, impersonation, all of it. But it took days for Instagram to take it down. And in that time, Maya had apparently received 3 more DMs from me. You still think about me, don't you? I miss the way you looked at me. You'll make it right this time. She sent screenshots. This time through Leah. Every message matched my old texting style. Same punctuation quirks, same tone. It was eerie, like someone had studied my conversations with her. I tried explaining it wasn't me, that someone must have hacked old photos, copied my phrasing, maybe even used AI to mimic my messages. But Maya wasn't convinced. You always do this, she said in one last voicemail. You hurt people, then act like it's not your fault. You don't get to rewrite history just because it's convenient for you. Her voice cracked on the last word. Then she hung up. Weeks went by. I tried to move on. Blocked the fake accounts as they popped up. Changed my passwords. Still, I couldn't shake the paranoia. Who would go that far to impersonate me? An ex-friend? Someone trying to stir drama? Or someone closer? Then, one night, my phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I told you she'd believe me. No name. Just that message. I stared at it for a long time. Then, slowly, I typed back, greater than who is this? A few seconds passed. Then another message came through. Someone who knows how much you like to run from things. Followed by an image. Blurry. Grainy, but unmistakable. It was a photo of me, taken through the window of my apartment. I didn't sleep that night either. The messages don't stop. The morning after that text, I deleted every social app I had. Instagram, Twitter, even WhatsApp. I changed my SIM card, switched my number, and bought a cheap phone with no links to my real accounts. But the messages didn't stop. 2 days later, a new text came through. Same phrasing, same unsettling familiarity. You can't hide from what you've done. There was no contact name, just a number. One I didn't recognize, but one that looked oddly familiar. The first 3 digits were the same as Maya's hometown area code. That's when I realized whoever this was knew exactly how to get my attention. At first, I tried to reason with myself. Maybe it was Maya, messing with me to get some twisted form of closure. Maybe she wanted me to admit guilt, to validate the hurt I caused. But the messages weren't coming from her style. She never wrote like this. Clipped, deliberate, cold. And besides, she was blocked on everything. Then I remembered the photo, the one taken through my window. That image haunted me, because it was taken from the exact angle of the alley behind my building. A narrow, shadowed corridor barely used except by delivery trucks. So that night, I waited. I turned off all my lights and sat by the window in the dark, pretending to scroll on my phone. The street below was still. Occasionally, a car passed, its headlights slicing through the fog. Around 1 a.m., I saw movement. A figure, tall, hooded, paused at the far end of the alley. I could barely make out the shape, but the way they stood it wasn't casual. They were watching. My stomach dropped. I snapped a photo, zooming in, but the image came out blurry. When I looked up again, the figure was gone. A chill crawled up my spine. And then, almost immediately, my new phone buzz. I told you not to make this harder. I didn't sleep at all that night. By morning, I was running on caffeine and panic. I went to the police, showed them the texts, the photo, even the image of me from my window. The officer was polite but tired looking, like had seen too many cases of digital harassment to care much. Could be someone spoofing your number, he said. Happens all the time. Any exes, enemies, or people you've blocked lately? I almost laughed. Isn't that the point of blocking them? He shrugged. Well, file a report. If it escalates, we'll see what we can do. Escalates? Like this wasn't already tearing apart my sanity. 3 days later, it did escalate. I came home from work to find my apartment door slightly open. Not broken, just unlatched. Inside, everything looked untouched. No drawers pulled out, no valuables missing. But then I noticed something on the kitchen table. A small, cheap flip phone, the kind you buy at a gas station. Its screen was lit up, showing one new text message. Now you know how it feels. I stood there for a full minute, paralyzed. One didn't touch the phone, didn't even breathe too loudly. I grabbed my car keys, went outside, and called the police again. When the officers arrived, they checked the place and took the phone as evidence. The message couldn't be traced. Burner SIM, no serials, no prints. Whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing. The officer asked if I wanted to stay somewhere else for the night. I said yes, without hesitation. I drove to a motel 3 towns over and checked in under a fake name. I even used cash. For the first time in days, I felt like maybe, just maybe, I was safe. Until 2:37 a.m. That's when the motel phone rang. My body went cold the second I heard it. No one had that number. ID just checked in hours ago. I picked it up slowly. Silence, then a faint, low whisper. You really thought leaving would stop it? I hung up, heart hammering. The front desk said no one had called. No external lines had rung in my room. Their logs showed nothing. But I knew what I heard. The next morning, I called Leah. I hadn't spoken to her since she'd gotten stuck between me and Maya. She sounded tired when she answered. Eli, I don't think you should call me anymore, she said. What? Why? She hesitated. Because Maya's been telling everyone you're stalking her again. She showed us screenshots. Messages from last night. My blood ran cold. What messages? She said you texted her that you knew where she was staying. That she should answer the phone next time. I felt my throat close. That's exactly what Shed just said to me. I told Leah everything. About the fake accounts, the break-in, the motel call. She listened quietly, then said something that made my blood run colder than before. Eli, you sure you're okay? Because Maya said you've been showing up in places. That you're leaving things for her. I swore I hadn't. That I'd been avoiding her at all costs. Leah sighed. Then someone's playing both of you. Because she's terrified. She thinks you've lost it. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about what she said. Someone was trying to destroy both of us. Not just me. But who? The only people who knew both of us that well were a few mutual friends and Maya's younger brother, Aaron. Aaron always had this strange fascination with our relationship. Back then, he used to joke about how intense we were together, how he couldn't look away. After the breakup, had sent me a weird text, greater than you'll regret how you treated her. People remember things. At the time, I brushed it off. But now it didn't feel like a joke, so I decided to test a theory. I texted Aaron from a new number, pretending to be someone from a job listing had applied for. I asked for a quick call to confirm details. When he picked up, I didn't say anything. He waited. Hello, and then, in the faintest whisper, just enough to make my blood turn to ice, he said, Eli. He knew it was me. At that exact moment, another text came through on my burner phone. You should have left it alone. And then another image. This time, not of me, but of Maya. Taken that same night, standing outside her apartment. Final chapter, the echo of a lie. At first, I thought I was dreaming again. The light in the room was too white, too sterile. The hum in the air wasn't just electricity. It was rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. Days blurred together, maybe weeks. They gave me pills that made my thoughts feel thick, like wading through syrup. Every time I asked for my phone or to call someone, Maya, the police, anyone, they told me to rest, but I couldn't rest, because every night I heard it. The whisper, Eli, soft, taunting, familiar. Sometimes it came from the vent, sometimes from the intercom. Once, I swore I heard it right next to my ear. One evening, I asked the nurse, Rivers, if she knew Aaron. She didn't answer, just smiled and said, you really shouldn't worry about him anymore. I demanded to know where I was. She leaned closer, voice lowering. You're where you've always been, Eli. You just keep forgetting. Then she turned off the lights and left. That night, I found the strength to pull out the The pain was sharp but real. The first real thing I'd felt in days. I stumbled to the door, expecting it to be locked. It wasn't. The hallway was long, empty, lined with identical white doors. I didn't know which way to go, but something, a sound, guided me. Static. It came from a half-open door at the end of the corridor. I pushed it open. Inside was a small office. Monitors lined the walls, each one showing live footage from different rooms. Most were empty, showing white beds and still bodies. But one monitor made my heart stop. It showed me, sitting on the floor of my room, head buried in my hands, still attached to the IV I had just pulled out. I staggered back, bile rising in my throat. Then the screen flickered, and another figure appeared behind the me on screen. Aaron. He leaned down, whispering something in my ear. The me on screen didn't react. The screen cut to black. A voice behind me said, you shouldn't have come here. I turned, the nurse standing in the doorway. But now she wasn't smiling. Her badge glinted in the dim light. Dr. Rivers. Where is Aaron? I whispered. She sighed. Aaron's gone, Eli. You know that. I shook my head violently. No. He was here. Her expression softened in that patronizing way people use when they're speaking to a child. Eli, Aaron isn't real. The words hit me harder than a punch. What are you talking about? You created him, she said gently, after the incident with Maya. After you lost control. I stared at her. You're lying. Am I? She asked, gesturing to the monitors. One by one, they began replaying clips. Not security footage, but memories. My memories. Me and Maya fighting. Me screaming at someone off camera. But there was never a second voice. Every time I swore Aaron was there, in the videos, in the photos, in the whispers, it was only me. You needed someone to blame, Dr. Rivers said quietly, for what happened to Maya. I staggered back, shaking my head. She's alive. She's gone, Eli. I felt something inside me crack open. No, she can't be. I saw her apartment. I talked to her. You visited the old building after her death, she said. You stood outside for hours. You told people she was still inside. The air left my lungs. Why are you doing this to me? I whispered. Because, she said, stepping closer, you deserve to know what you did. She handed me a single photo, a police evidence shot. Maya's living room, shattered glass, blood on the carpet, and my fingerprints everywhere. I screamed. I don't know how long I screamed. Long enough for the orderlies to rush in, hold me down, sedate me until the world dissolved again. When I woke up, I was back in my room. Only one light on. Only one sound, the faint hum in the vent. Then, a whisper. You shouldn't have told them, Eli. My blood froze. It was Aaron's voice. I looked up at the vent, and through the slats, a single red light blinked. Recording. Always recording. The end.